He did. I mean, dude, we were talking on the call-in show. People were calling and giving us their breakout players, and there's just so many that you could. I mean, Devin Moore was probably mine because again, when you don't hear about the cornerbacks, when you don't hear about them, they're doing a good job because nobody's
For
throwing at
sure.
them. And
For
those
sure.
times they did throw at him, you could see that. And again, he was covering Dane Key, which was their guy,
He
and they
played
couldn't.
phenomenal too. Yeah.
Yeah,
We were all over the place, man. A lot of guys made a lot of great
Bridges,
individual plays, but playing within the defense, it was great to see. Bridges had a nice open field tackle too, blasting through a guy making a play, and then he got the tip ball interception. Great awareness. Heard those guys say they work the tip drill every day, and it's paying off for them. So it was great to see. And then Cormani getting his pick six, another
too
beautiful
cool.
play. It was a beautiful play. I know the quarterback was a tad bit late, but the way he played the play, it was a beautiful play. Even if the quarterback would have been on time, if he threw it to the guy, it probably still would have been a pick six. The way Cormani covered the guy, it was perfect coverage.
We won't know about Jason Marshall till next week, probably when the injury report has to come out. By the looks of
Yeah,
it, it looks pretty severe that it could be long term. So get used to the name
yeah,
Cormani McClain. And for people like, well, what is he going to bring to the table? Everyone knows that he was a 5-star recruit. Jason Marshall was a 5-star recruit. I don't believe Jason's, first 3 years were near what this year has been. This is what the Jason Marshall they went out and recruited.
for sure.
Cormani McClain has that potential to be what Jason Marshall has been
Yeah,
now, though, because he's that 5-star guy. He just I don't know how the development has been, but look at the rest of the cornerback room. It feels like it has really
yeah,
flourished under Will Harris, especially over the
yeah,
Tariq Denton Gates. So I'd imagine that it is up and coming. Look, the news that we heard earlier on in the year about him missing practice, things like that, and making guys run. Clearly, the team was absolutely in love with him after that, and even Napier allowed the team to go celebrate and took the penalty, like go ahead. So
yeah.
that's what's cool to
Some
see is go ahead.
sometimes you just have those guys that it take a little longer for. um I wouldn't say they're immature, but they have to become a professional,
Mm,
in their craft. But they're so super talented, and you just love them. You love their personality, but they can't get up on time. They just, you know what I mean. They probably went to bed early, but they're gonna be late, and they just have that thing about them that they just can't get over that hump. And you got to work with those guys. If you The way he smiles and talk when people talk to him, I know they can tell that he's super genuine. So they're giving him that time to develop, which is important. I was that guy, you know, just couldn't get right. I had bumps everywhere, but it wasn't, I would say, my own doing. You know what I mean? It's just kind of how I was brought up. Um, and some of the things I stood for, defending people. I got in a lot of trouble, but I wasn't a troublemaker. People genuinely liked me, and so it took a little while for me to, become a professional at what I was doing. But I see a lot in him. Just the way the few plays he was on the field, he has developed a lot more. I think Will Harris has a lot to do with that. And I believe he can start for us right now if barring all the off field stuff, getting all that stuff right, because you just can't reward people for uh I wouldn't say bad behavior, but if you mess up, you got to pay the price. You know what I mean? So you don't want to
sure.
reward that when you're trying to build a culture. And he has to understand that, but also understand that they have a plan for him and it's coming into fruition. And this is just a little bit of fruit of that. A guy goes down and you get to come in and look like, man, where you been all this time? We could have been using you. Well, now it's like, okay, let me get my stuff together. This is fun.
So,
like,
boys and girls, this is the part of the show where I make you look just a little more sexier moving forward. Okay? Anywhere worth going is worth going in a nice pair, the perfect pair of boots from Tecovas. In the 2015, Tecovas was born out of Texas, created the perfect pair, handcrafted this beautiful, sexy piece of leather to go over your foot to make your wife or your husband go, damn, baby. That's what Tecovas does for you. Okay? And not only that, what makes them so fantastic is their experience when you go to the store. You are treated like royalty. They roll out the red carpet. You walk in, beverage in hand. What can I do for you today, sir? Bam! Want one of those. Try them on. Rock and roll. Look good. Feel good. Play good, baby. That's what Tecova does for you. We are pumped to be teamed up with Tecovas. So be sure to go check out Tecovas. Head on over to Tecova right now. Use the code Oh, and don't use the code. What you're going to do is right now, 10% off at Tecovas.com/Hightop when you sign up for email and text. That's 10% off at Tecovas.com/Hightop. Not the code slash, right there. So Tecovas.com/Hightop. See site for details. Tecovas. Point your toes west. There's two parts. You said you reminded me of yourself. I wanted to see who else on the team back when you played that he reminded you of. Kind of that mentality. Look, I think what people kind of forget is these kids in high school, they get touted around like they are him. And look, they are, but they really kind of act as alphas. They're on an island in high school, and so there's a big culture shock, I'd say, when you come to college. That some people don't transition. It may be due to your upbringing, like you kind of said. There's a multitude of reasons, and I think as fans, we're quick to kind of dismay a player. Where coaches are more likely to hold on to somebody because they know this is a good kid. We just got to kind of break through, mold them out a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, see, I was big on respect and didn't tolerate disrespect no matter where it was at. So it kind of got me into a little bit of trouble. But I will always respect people. But if you disrespect me, I kind of lose it. And I love people and I give, so I don't tolerate disrespect at all. But it's hard once you made a mistake because people gonna do things. And you really had great intentions, but once you've already in that doghouse, it's kind of like you don't get that chance, but it's still going to happen. So it takes just a little while longer to get out of there. Like, I'm sure he was on the right path, trying to do the right things. And that one day you miss that alarm, it's like, I'm dead. You know what I mean?
Because you already have a connotation. An image about you.
So now you're trying to give an excuse for why. And coach, like, I didn't mean it and all this. And none of that matters. You got to do the time. You know what I mean? And we're gonna love you still, but you got to put the time in. And I think his road to redemption turned the corner for him that game. Getting that pick six and celebrating with your friends. You're gonna go to practice harder. And I heard Coach Napier saying something about him, during the time where he was on the scout team, he'd be on the opposite field going against the ones. And Napier was telling the coaches, like, hey man, this guy, he's learning the playbook late, but man coverage, this guy can play man coverage. And he said that he was telling the coaches that said he would get like a pick every day going against our ones. So I'm confident in him, just seeing him get down in the stands, the way he played. He had a good pass breakup. Then I seen him make a nice tackle. He weaved around the defender. Looked like he was playing faster than anybody out there when he made that play. And for his size, everybody say he need to gain a little weight. He doesn't seem timid or scared. For some smaller guys, you just got to know how to tackle. You got to know what you're good at. And if you're fast, you get there fast enough, just latch on to him, man. Just get him down. You ain't got to blast through him. I just need you playing with hard intensity, getting there and making the play. And I believe he can do that. He has tremendous upside. His attitude reminds me a lot more like D Webb. I don't know if you guys remember D Webb playing cornerback for the Gators out of Jacksonville. So I think we got a great player, a great steal. As the year, if hopefully we get Marshall back, it's not too long. And we get a chance to see those guys side by side on the field, man. It looks good to me. The man is fast too.
Hopefully it is just a couple of weeks, but it looked pretty. I mean, he was hurt pretty bad, but again, the way he popped out shoulder. Yeah.
I hope it's not. I hope it's not collarbone, because the way he was like dug into the ground. I hope it's maybe just the shoulder came out and not like a collarbone issue or nothing like that, or labrum or whatever.
Well, boys and girls, that was Champ's Corner on Tuesday today. We appreciate you guys being patient for us, and we got it in and locked it in. So be sure to smash the like button, boys, subscribe, and we'll see you guys tomorrow live for the best day of the week. Peace and love, baby.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Go Gators.